know that you have ultimate control, that you get to decide what happens next for you, that you get to decide whether or not you end up stuck in that spot or whether you keep moving forward because of or despite whatever happened that is the punch in the face. Keep going. Figure it out. Don't let it become an excuse. Do you want to keep your excuses or do you want to move forward? Welcome to the Fire Within podcast, helping you to remember and embrace who you really are and turn the spark within you into a full, burning, soul-led fire. My name is Carrie Jokala. I am your host. I am a Reiki master teacher, a fitness instructor, a wife, a mom to 2 little boys, and this is episode 220. And I know I've been telling you for the last few weeks that I have a ton of ideas for podcast topics, and I do. However, maybe you can hear it in my voice. My energy has dipped a little bit in the last couple of days. There's been a lot going on, like not good stuff. Like we had the police band concert this weekend that I performed in. We had some bowling with the family. And then the day after that, it was like I just could not get my energy levels back up. It was just a blah day, an off day. Like I just wasn't feeling anything. Wasn't feeling like doing my workouts. I still did everything I needed to do, but it was off. So that coupled with the fact that I'm running out of time to record this podcast, we are going to do a card pull today because it's also been a while. And I feel like the fact that I know I'm not the only one who's been feeling this energy dip, we need some hopeful, positive messaging. Part of, I think, what caused my energy to dip was just a sudden, I guess, empathy, but just a little bit of maybe grief, sadness for all of these other intuitives, light workers, whatever you want to call them, that I see getting so overwhelmed with social media where it's really, truly draining their energy, putting them in a bad space. They're getting so overwhelmed that they are leaving or planning to leave or have left their social media platforms. And while I completely agree that it is intentionally set up to be an energy drain. It's intentionally set up to be addictive, and it's not good at all to be in there all the time, and definitely not to let yourself get absorbed in it. I feel like, I'm not saying anybody's right or wrong, but I feel like the best way to counteract that is to have more of people like us, like you and me, like people who are here spreading positive messages, who are spreading the light, who are here to truly help. That's needed. Otherwise, it's just going to continue to be one big cesspool and it's just going to get worse. And I'm not saying we have to save social media. I don't mean it like that. I mean people's energy, people's outlook on life, people's relationships with themselves, how we interact with each other. Right now, social media just happens to be a big tool through which all of this is happening or not happening. So, I mean, if that's where everyone is hanging out, I feel like that presence is needed. And I'm not trying to tell anybody what to do. Maybe we as light workers need to lean more into support from others as well, instead of feeling like we carry the burden. But anyway, that's where I'm at. Feeling like, I don't know, maybe it's a sign or an opportunity for me to fill the gap, to fill the void of these spaces that are being left. But me also still feeling overwhelmed and a little lost myself and a little confused on what the best path forward for me is to truly help other people. So that's just me talking. Let's get to the card pull, the reason that you're here. So I have currently pulled 5 cards from the Quantum Oracle and 3 related messages, but 3 from the Energy Oracle. And I might pull another from the Quantum Oracle. So I have that deck sitting next to me right now. But here's what came out. So the card that was kind of technically center of all of the cards that came out, I'm going to give you first because I feel like that's the energy that's either here right now or starting to go away. So this card is Back and Forth. And it shows, I will try to remember to take a picture of these and post these probably both on Instagram and inside the Fire Within Facebook group. But it shows I'll just read it to you because the description in the book actually describes the card as well. But it says, on the intention seesaw, a man stands on the center of a seesaw with one foot on each side of the fulcrum. When he leans to the right, the left side of the seesaw lifts. When he moves in the other direction, the right side lifts. He could be spending lots of time and energy moving back and forth, yet always staying in the same place. That's how I have felt for a very long time. The man is representative of your mental and energetic focus right now. You're in a quandary, stuck between 2 choices, going back and forth because you're unsure and maybe even afraid. In fact, you may have been in this place for quite a while. You may be considering a new career direction, a creative project, or an investment choice. You could even be asking yourself if you should stay in your present relationship, but you are stopped by confusion and self-doubt. Fear of making the wrong decision causes you to make no decision at all. I feel that one. Your energy is stagnant, perpetuating the same old feelings and results. It's time to get off the seesaw and pick the next best direction for you. But we also got, I'm going to go kind of in the order of how the rest of them came out around this card. So actually, the very first card that came out is Happy Success. The wish is fulfilled. A man stands in a flowering field with his arms stretched out, happily looking up at the sky. It's raining beautiful gems, silver coins, and droplets of bright light. He is clearly filled with joy about the abundant blessings coming his way. Happiness is a choice, as is the consciousness of success. When you live in these mental attitudes, it's only a matter of time before you too are showered with the blessings you desire. This card marks a time of great joy and abundance for you. This may be in the form of expanding wealth, love, or business achievements. The promise here is that the wish you've been dreaming about is coming your way. So open up to the success in your heart and to the happiness already in your life, and get ready for much more to come. I need to get myself in that energy, and I'm saying that because of these cards, the messages in these cards, it's got to be what's happening. We're going there even if you don't feel it yet. It's coming. And I've been getting a lot of reels in my feed from other intuitives and people doing card readings and channeled messages and things like that. And they're all saying stuff like this. So I accept. Okay, then I think I mentioned it on the podcast, but I may have just mentioned it in the Fire Within challenge. I mentioned it somewhere, but I did not truly expect this word that is like the word of the year at the gym that I work at to keep coming up for me personally and to be this significant. The theme, the word for this year at my gym is courage. And the second card that came out is courage. So it says, taking a risk. A man in armor holds a sword at his side, ready to enter a dark forest. This is a time of great personal strength for you. Whether you realize it or not, you're ready to take a risk and attempt a new adventure. Back and Forth card talked about you might be on the precipice of some new ideas, new adventures, new creative ideas, and so on. So here we go. You're ready. If you've been thinking about taking a chance on something, now is the time to face it. Perhaps there's a challenge that you'd like to meet or something you've been longing to express. It may be time to go public about an interest you've been pursuing. For me, I'm getting pushed and yet for some reason fearful of doing vocal sound healing. So that's relevant for me there. Even if you feel hesitant at first, this card is telling you that the time is right. You are moving into an energetic cycle where you feel your strength more deeply. I feel that too, actually. Despite this dip, I feel like that's where I've been headed overall. There is a core of power coming from your own eternal soul, and you can feel the boundless courage that always lies ready within your heart center. Breathe deeply and take that next step. Know that you can trust this core of inner strength to guide you in this exciting time. Then on the other side of the back and forth card, the next one was the honoring path. Respect and high regard. A woman stands on stage. Before her, an audience applauds her shining presence. On a purely practical level, this card indicates that you will soon be receiving positive recognition for something you've done or something you're about to do. On a deeper, more personal level, this card reveals a shift in others' attitudes as well as your own toward you. That's good. You are starting to see the best in yourself, and as your self-regard increases, others will see the best in you also. If someone treats you with disrespect, you now have the power to demand civility. In fact, the energy of self-honor is the only way to get the response from the universe you long for. So choose an increasing intention of self-respect in your thoughts and your behaviors. Such a powerful daily approach projects incredible dignity and authentic power, two irresistible vibrations in the universe. I don't know why that was so hard for me to say. So take a bow. When you acknowledge yourself, the world acknowledges you back. So not only are you having courage to move forward, you are leaning into your own personal strength, feeling more confident about yourself. And the last card is optimism, which, if this has any meaning for you, it's the actual very first card in the deck. A woman looks joyously at a sunrise over a beautiful valley. Abundant fruit hangs on the trees that surround her. This is a card of great value and achievement. Your reality is shifting in a much more positive direction. Look for an exciting new development in money, romance, or your career. This could also manifest as a personal accomplishment or creative success. Old blocks are falling away, and you are choosing to see the light at the end of the tunnel. There's an increased optimism taking hold in your attitude, and you've finally determined to raise your consciousness to a more positive outlook. This reveals a much more beneficial mindset than you may have had in the past. Your attitude of optimism ensures that a very bright future, perhaps one you may not have been expecting, is on its way. So, all good things. We might be starting a little wobbly, but we're going to start making some progress and moving in the right direction. And just out of curiosity, I wanted to pull some extra cards. So I don't know if I'm going to read the entire book description for these ones from the Energy Oracle, but we got Broken Heart Reversed, which is good. Caring Connections, and third chakra, Archangel Chamuel, and that is your solar plexus, which is basically your confidence center. So let me just glance over the book explanations. So the Broken Heart Reversed marks a time of renewal and hope. So basically the entire message we had from the other deck. The pain and trauma are behind you now, and you can trust that greater joy is on the way. Whatever has happened to hurt you in the past, you're now free to move on. The universe has much better things in store for you, so finish letting go of any residual grief and open your life to your new self-loving intention. Joyous connections will follow. That's interesting because of the Caring Connections card that came up. Joyous connections will follow, and then we get Caring Connections as the very next card. Friendship, partnership of two, possible love. So basically this could signal a new relationship. It could signal a new friendship. It could signify a formal business partnership. But this card is specifically talking about connection between just two people. So whatever that ends up being for you. And then I don't even need to look in the book. Your solar plexus is your sense of identity, your confidence center, and it's upright. So that means that this chakra is starting to become more open, and you are, just as the last messages in the previous deck said, starting to feel, or will start to feel, much more confident in yourself moving forward. So if you're feeling the same energy slump that I've been feeling, just allow yourself to move through it. It didn't feel right to try to fight it when I was feeling it yesterday, and I'm starting to feel better today. What's interesting about that is I saw a story yesterday on Instagram from Andy Frisella, the 75 Hard guy, and he had a whole thing written out about how you're going to get punched in the face and it's going to suck. Like just as you're going through life, going through your journey, trying to make your way towards your goals, like things are going to knock you down. And when things don't go your way, he basically said, he literally kind of said, he used the word force. I just don't remember the exact sentence, but he said basically force things to start going your way. And I'm usually not a fan of force, but I get what he means. Basically, don't let yourself sit forever feeling sorry for yourself, feeling the pain of having been punched in the face. Now, I'm going to add, let yourself move through it. Let yourself have the feelings and the emotions and let them process. Don't force your way out of it to the point where you're pretending that you're okay when you're really not. But know that you have ultimate control, that you get to decide what happens next for you, that you get to decide whether or not you end up stuck in that spot or whether you keep moving forward because of or despite whatever happened that is the punch in the face. Keep going. Figure it out. Don't let it become an excuse. Because another fun quote that I heard recently, I heard it from Sarah Prout, who is a manifesting teacher. She has a podcast also called Manifest. And I can't remember if she came up with this, but I kind of think she said she got it from somebody else, but I don't remember who. But basically it's, if you argue for your excuses, if you try to defend your excuses, you get to keep them. So think about that. Do you want to keep your excuses or do you want to move forward? And I'm talking to myself just as much as I'm sending this message to you at the same time. So I am right there with you on this same journey at the same time. So I don't know that we need another card, but I kind of want to pull one just for fun. Okay, this is really interesting. So the card that came up is Joyous Fun, and it's upright. And when I first started pulling cards from this deck, I rejected the first pull that I did because the first card that came out was Joyous Fun and it was reversed. So something changed in between then and now. So I think the message is just to have more fun, be more creative, which is relevant for me as far as I know that I am wanting to, I am intending to, I just need to start leaning back into more creative endeavors, getting back to the creative side of myself, singing, dancing, writing, just having more fun, more play, instead of being so hyper-focused and taking everything so seriously and taking everything personally. Because I've been doing a lot of work over the years, not taking things personally, and I'm doing pretty good, but once in a while. We're all still human, right? So I think that's where I'm going to leave it. I hope that the message from this card pull was helpful for you, that it was motivational, inspiring, uplifting for you. If it was, if anything resonated here, please share this episode. Make sure that you tag me if you share it on Instagram at I am Carrie Jokala. And I would love to help you process whatever energy you're feeling, whatever energy you're moving through. We can do that through a simple Reiki session, or we can deep dive into your Akashic Records, the library of your soul, and really dig in to figure out the roots of the blocks that have been holding you back so that you can get off of this seesaw and step into this success, courage, optimism energy. I haven't often said this, but make sure you also just go through the show notes and check out the links to all the free offerings that I have, including meditations and affirmations workbook. I still intend to put the 30-day confidence challenge up there, and I think I'm going to make it a free program. I'm going to get the Fire Within 2.0 up on the website. That's going to be a low investment, very small cost offering. But I think the 30-day confidence challenge, I'm going to keep free. But it's not up there yet. But as soon as it is, if you didn't get a chance to go through that inside the Fire Within Facebook group, that'll be up soon. But otherwise, go check out all the free stuff too, if you're not quite ready for a full session. You can also do a personalized card pull as well. So those options are up there. Those links are all in the show notes. Everything is on the website. If you have any questions, please reach out and let me know. And if you are so inclined, it really helps the show if you leave a 5-star rating and a positive review. That's where I'm going to leave it. Thank you so much for being here, and I will see you next time.